Hi, welcome to my first tutorial, and today we're going to talk about the spinning curve. Get inspired by his channel broadly. His channel is awesome, and I highly recommend it. It teach me a lot. Today we particularly talking about some kind of effect looks like this, and but we use like different way to achieve that. So let's jump into it. We're teaching about this effect, this spring effect. Okay, and you can draw whatever you want in different dimension. Okay, let's jump into it. And this is the whole overview of this effect, and it's fairly simple, but it's just a very basic form, and we can build on it to have more complicated and even animation and different twist. Yeah, so enjoy it. So we just have to do it from scratch. Okay, so we close this, and we make a new curve. Make a new curve, and we can't delete the curve, and we just draw a new one. Okay, so that's our curve, and make a new geometry node. You can click from here, but I just do it from here so it's more clear to see. You can rename it like a geometry node, short for GN, and okay, so the goal is have this kind of curve following along with the main curve, right, for this angle. And so of course we need like a set position. So the set position is very important for this effect that we are going to do. Okay, so that's first, I would like to make it mesh first so we can see it more clearly. So what we need to do is to mesh, and we need a body for this mesh. So we use circle, curve circle. And make it resolution lower and smaller, maybe 0.1. Half of that. Oh, okay, now we can see. You can see the curve more clearly. I would like to resample it because it will be a fundamental part in the later on. And we can join geometry to show the original curve, so we know what we have done, but it's not necessary. So right now we can make it like 30, but later on we will change this to different mode for the length mode, because it will more suitable for what we try to achieve. So right now we have a very basic curve that we are looking for to change it. So let's put the set position in between. So now we know we want to like spinning along with the curve, right? So if you have do it this kind of effect in another program before, you might know we can use sine and cosine to do that. Because sine and cosine, it means something like that, like half circle. Maybe this sine and this is cosine, or other way around, just something like that. And if we put them together in the vertex, it will make a circle, so that we can achieve what we wanted to do. So we can do that with the offset position, because offset position, it will offset all the point in the with the curve, right? So we have to combine XYZ, and we combine these two to the XY, and now we can see something is going on. So if we treat them together, you can see it's rotating with the XY, but it rotated like the whole mesh together because we haven't separate them with the index. So the index will separate them by the index of each point, each sample, right? So we can just put them right in here. Voila! So now we almost have the effect that we want. But now you can see the sample, the sample of the curve is really chunky, very big. So because index it's a integer number, is really big, so we have to make it smaller. So we use math and divide, so we can make it like smoother, right? We can make it smooth. However, in this case, we need to turn the count bigger. So now we can almost have what we want. But you can see it's rotating along the without x, so it's only with the xy. So we have to fix that, something to do with z, right? But right now it's a little bit the circles are a little bit big, so we have to make it smaller. So vector math, we have just to scale it down. Okay, that will do. So what we want is make this curve to along with the curve, right? Like this. This is the curve, you can see, and we want the curve to curve like that. So how do we do that? That is something to do with the tangent. So yeah, we can take the node curve tangent to do that. So let's erase that first. And this part is very important for the effect that we want to achieve, and it's kind of like the most difficult part of this effect, because it do have something with to do with rotation, and rotation for a person who is not very good at like mathematics, it's sometimes get very confused, but just follow along. So now we know we need a curved tangent. Curved tangent is kind of like normal, but in the horizontal direction. And so we need to rotate the vertex, right? We need to use tangent to rotate the vertex. So of course we need to vector rotate. And also we say it to Euler. And use rotate, no, along Euler to vector. And because we want to do something with the z axis, so we just plug that in. We try. So we see, okay, now it looks kind of okay, right? Maybe we can draw another line, because that first line is not really good. Okay, now we see something is working, but not perfect yet. You can see sometimes it will have some very strange effect. So you can see something here. See that something here is like wobbling, right? Very weird. That's because something has to do with this align Euler to vector. Copy the align Euler to vector and plug this in and turn it to x and put the rotation to another rotation. So now it fixed a lot, right? It fixed a lot from that to that. But you may think it's still a little bit weird. Like it's not quite smooth. But basically we already finished our effect. Basically that's, look, if I draw more straight, basically we already finished the effect. But something we have to discuss about this further, it's like you see this and this, the sample is very different. This is more like what we are looking for, but this is like too smooth. So in this case we need to change the count to length. So everything will be calculated by the length of the curve. So it will be looks like the same form. So if you could go closer, it looks a little bit better, but be very careful with to tweak this number, because when it go really small, like almost go to 0, it will easily to crash your blender, because it cut it like too small, like almost infinite sample. So very careful to tweak this. So that's why I use count first to do what I looking for, and I switch to this to do first further, and now we can still see some imperfection, and it have something to do with the index and the sample. These two are defining the shape of the curve. One is defining this is defining the big shape of the curve. It's defining this, and this is defining this. So these two, they kind of have to work together. They have to match some like golden number to do like flawlessly. And you can do some math along here, but for this tutorial we will not to do that, because it will make everything more complex. So we just use by hand to see if we can make it a little bit like so maybe it's something like this. Looks fine right now. And sometimes like here is a little bit weird. And also has to do with something to do with because we draw by hand, because the curve is kind of have some wobbling, so it will not look so smooth, because if we do it something like, if we put something like triangle, you can see it's basically kind of smooth, but if you see the corner it has some jump. That's because something has to do with, you know, how you sample them. But a better way to fix it is to use just kind of like, you have to smooth out the corner. So now you see it looks almost perfect. You don't see any kind of like wobbling. So that's, and you can You can make it. You can make like the way you want, right? You can make it thicker, maybe not too thick, because okay, now it looks interesting. Oops. Okay, maybe I can make a donut. So now we have to discuss something, make this effect have more personality, right? Because now it's very basic. So we can do something around here. Can put another scale around here, so we can make it like bigger, smaller, but not together, right? We can make different part bigger, some parts smaller, something like something we can do. Maybe reduce the vector to drive this, and now you can see start point to the end point from 1 to 0 or 0 to 1. Now if we do it multiply, you can make this effect more like bigger, and if we use something like this instead of the, you can see more clearly something where we draw. You can see this effect more clearly, right? You know, something like this is really because of the way we draw the curve. It's like imperfection because of the hand. We make it simpler. Okay, so right now it looks like this. It's kind of interesting already, and you can see it's multiply this to 0 and this is 1, and if we use a float curve, and we can tweak this. No, not like that, just like that. Okay, we can tweak this like that. Now it looks like a worm, something like that. Okay, or even something like that. Okay. We can make it smoother. See, okay, like this, right? And we can let it move. How do we move it? So it's something between here. We can use math and use fraction. So this one, it will put the number like in a cycle between 1 and 0. And we have to make that. And you see, if we move along here, it will just go infinitely between the numbers. So if we use time, plug that in, we play, you see, it is moving. You can make it like slower. Right, move really and if we stop this, and also we want, because if you see here, although it's moving, but it's not really looks like it is spinning. So if we put a number here, it can spin. Right? If you take away this, you can see the whole thing is like spinning. So I don't know if these two numbers will match or not, but it seems like. Maybe it looks better or not. Let's see. Oops. What did I? Oh, it's really easy to push this button, the clamp, so be careful when you drag the note. Let's see, it really makes it different or not. Okay, maybe in this case, because the both are moving, so it's not really, it don't really looks that strong, or maybe just because it has to do with different power number. See, you can see, maybe this is what you want. And if we put it back to like this, it looks like that. Maybe too powerful for this size, so we make it like that, right? And make it bigger. So I can make it smaller. And also, you can use color ramp for this. Just have to do with, oops, that's why. Just have to put the color to do what you want. Right? It looks interesting, right? So that's that. Maybe we stop this for a moment. Oops. Put it here. Let's drag it back so it looks clear. Actually, I kinda like to use color ramp to this kind of work. But either way, you can do that. And what else can we play? Now we just like playing, and I'm improvising, so I don't really know where I can go. Where I will go, I mean. That's improvising. Okay, that's maybe if we want to use another object to drive this the scale of the curve. We can do that, but I will go. I will not explain too much about this because it's not a fundamental part of this tutorial, so I will just do it and you can see it. So that's maybe do with sphere. Okay, I will drag it like this place. You can see it. So it close to here. We want here to be fatter. So we drag it here. And remember to set it to relative. Usually we always use relative, so I sometimes kind of wish like relative is the default because sometimes we forget to switch it and use this. Geometry proximity. And we can get the distance between this and this, and just try to plug in to see what's going on. You see, it's working, but it's like opposite what we want. So we can still use this sort of to do that. Maybe just try. Sometimes you just have to try. Tweak. Okay, now it's like here is working. So you can see it works if we okay, but we just want the power goes bigger. So easy math, just math, always math. Multiply. Oops. Right. And we can make the circle go around the triangular. Transform. So now it's transform, right? And so how can we do that? How can we do it? Make it around. So we have to use this function, sample curve, and we take it from here, and we set the position. Let's see what is going on. Okay, have some kind of offset. That is, maybe it's because this is not in the center. Okay. So now it's running, right? And if like before, like here, no, yeah, something like here, we do the same thing. So we take time, and we take a fraction, and we go here, and it's like you go and make it slower, maybe even more slower. Yep. So maybe if we draw another line and we go here, so that's the main part. Yeah, and you can do a lot with it. Here goes to here. Oops. Yeah. Oops. You can draw, just keep drawing. Yeah, thank you for my first time, and leave a like and leave some comment So any suggestion and what you would like to see I make in the future video, and leave a like and subscribe if my tutorial is helpful. Thank you. Bye bye.